Okay, do a little experiment with me. Think about some of your favorite leaders and think about their sense of humor. I'm thinking, for example, about Barack Obama, President Barack Obama. I'm thinking actually about President Nelson Mandela too. And I'm also thinking about the Archbishop, Desmond Tutu, and the Dalai Lama, okay? These men, I've just named 4 names. These men, they're funny. Like, they have really good sense of humor, and when they're giving a speech or when they're saying something really important, when they're connecting to people, to an audience, they have a way of bringing humor and lightness into the room in a way that's just like electric. And it makes people feel at ease because they have so much gravitas, but it also makes their messaging so much more powerful because it feels like, oh my God, this person is completely relatable and accessible to me as a human being. And what I want you to think about is, how do you use humor to connect with others when you're speaking on the stage, or, and this is really powerful, when you're in everyday conversation, how do you become and be the kind of person who's funny without coming across as trying too hard? This video is for you if you understand the power of humor and you want to inject that power into your everyday conversations, and definitely every single time you stand up on stage, or you're giving a presentation, or you're in an interview, or you're on a hot date. How do you use humor to win people over? This video is for you if you want to learn how to do that without being somebody other than who. Humor is really interesting because yes, it's very contextual, but it's also universal. People understand how powerful it is when you are funny because they feel something that tells them, I can be easy with this person, I can relax. And the quickest way for you to inject some funny in your conversation is yourself to relax, okay? Can you breathe in the present moment as you're talking, as you're sharing whatever it is? Because it's really hard to be funny when you're tense and you're not fully relaxed. Another thing to become a little funnier in conversation is to observe and to be really present to what's happening around you. But you can't observe and make connections because often the things that are funny are the things that you just point out that are like just regular, schmegular, every day. Like, why is your ring doing all of these wild things on the YouTube, Magogodi? I mean, maybe not funny to you, but it's like a small little moment that's like a little bit of lightness to it. So to be observational, you really have to come into the present moment, and you have to be listening and you have to be paying attention, and that requires breathing, relaxing, but also being here now. Can you do that? To be funny, one of the other things that you can definitely do is make unexpected connections. Have you noticed that the funniest people, I'm thinking here of Chris Rock, say things out of their mouth where you're just like, yo bro, like how did you even, that's just like, it's hilarious. One of the lines that I'll probably go to my grave thinking about this because I think it's both so provocative and brilliant, but also like mad funny. Chris Rock talks about America and America's relationship to Black African American people, and how America is like, America's like, that uncle of yours who was terrible to you and abused you when you were a kid, but now motherfuckers turn around talking about, can I pay your way to college? You need to see this clip live because obviously everything is always makes sense in context. So I recognize it is very loaded thing and topic that he's taking on, but imagine he takes on such a loaded topic and he finds a way to make it something that's funny, something that people laugh about and think really, really hard about because of how he put those things together. And it's because he's brilliant at putting unexpected ideas together. I want you to do the same when you're in conversation. Where are the connections that people might not necessarily be making, and how can you make those connections obvious in unexpected ways? Because that, more often than not, is where the funny comes out. This one is such a simple and powerful hack for anybody who is hoping to inject a little bit more funny into conversation. Tell funny stories. Like duh. This is a speaking thing we're talking about. Stories are powerful, and they are the bedrock of how human beings understand the world and make sense of the world. If you can tell an anecdote, if you can tell a story of something funny that happened, and the way that you tell the story, right? So using timing really smartly, exaggerating words where it makes sense, being animated with your body as it makes sense. That is how you bring funny into conversation. And it's also like, it's such a brilliant way, especially if you're on a stage, to connect with your audience, because stories are so powerful, and they always, anytime you can tell a story, it would always make your presentation, your talk more powerful. I hope this has been helpful. I definitely am a student of how to be more funny. I have so much admiration for people who naturally are funny, and I don't know, how'd I do? Was that funny? Okay, maybe like a little bit funny? Listen, if you found any of these tips useful, I just want to know in comments, are you a funny person or not? Do you appreciate funny people or not? Because I don't consider myself a funny person, but I love being around Funnybones. And like I said, I'm very much a student of how to be funny, because I think it's one of the most beautiful things about being alive. Let me know in comments. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I am Magogodi. I will see you soon. Stand out from the stage to the page.